Hi there, I'm Dalton Quigley, owner of Quigley's Landscaping, a Landscape Nashville website, and I've been doing outdoor projects for 20 years, and I want to share something with you if you have an outdoor-oriented business or almost any kind of small business that visits someone's home for an estimate, a quote, or a consultation, and when you should be charging money and when you shouldn't. Some of you out there, it's likely will disagree with me. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. I'd love to talk with you about that if you disagree with me. I've been doing this for 20 years, visiting people's homes, spending my gas and my time, my energy, and racking my brain to solve problems for clients. I've got a lot that I've learned over the years that I'd like to share. So in my previous video, I shared 3 different tips that any new landscape business needs to know. In this video, I want to share when you should be charging for a consultation versus what's a quote and what's a free estimate. So if somebody calls me, I market everything from doing a sodding project to doing a drain inspection, actually not drain inspection, leak inspection. So when someone has a water feature, sometimes they need it inspected for where's the leak. They call me with that all the time. So I've learned to make money from that. I charge $125 to come out for the first hour and $70 each additional hour to hunt for a leak. If I would go out there for free, loads of people would have me every day, all day long looking for leaks. And a lot of them would choose to do it themselves. If they do it themselves, do I get anything for the gas and for the time and for my knowledge? No, I get nothing if I call that a free quote or a free estimate. Instead, that's actually a leak inspection. Another thing that I charge for is if a client calls me up and they want to do a project in their backyard, their front yard, whatever, and they want ideas. I've got 20 years worth of knowledge. I've done projects for, I've done a project for on a famous music video at the Opry Hotel for a corporate function. I built a gorgeous Zen garden. I've done, you name the project, I've done it for people in their yards. Everything from gorgeous designs with arbors and fire pits and patios and all the beautiful landscaping. I spend a lot of time and effort in my life getting to know what makes something look beautiful and modern and what goes with different styles of homes and everything. This is a lot of knowledge that I have, and I really want to share it with people. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to go to someone's home and have them say, oh, that's nice. And I've actually had them do this. Take out a piece of paper and start writing down all the things that I'm saying. Then never do business with me. Then later when I drive by that home, I notice all the things that I talked to them about installed in the front yard. I actually had a contractor install one of my designs because I was dumb enough to hand the design to the homeowners association without any kind of a commitment. I thought for sure I was going to get it. They sounded like they were going to do business with me. I was convinced. I handed the design over because they had to get approval for it. Guess what? Later on, I drove by and there was a landscaper installing my design. And I said, do you know that you're installing someone else's design? And he basically just told me, go to hell. So what can I do about that? Can I take the shovel and beat him over his head? No, I can't. I can't do anything about it. I can complain about it. I actually went to the person I turned the design into, and they wouldn't return my calls. They wouldn't return my texts or my emails, nothing. Dead to the world to me. So I was out. How many hours did I spend on it? I don't want to see that happen to you. So if you're going to put your hard-earned gas costs you money to drive to someone's home. It's not free. Your insurance wasn't free to drive there. And your time is worth something. Is your time worth $25 an hour? Is your time worth $35 an hour? The industry average is about $35 an hour. If you have a 2-man job going on, you should be charging somewhere between $30 and $35 a labor hour for them. If you're not paying yourself for your insurance, your marketing, there's your repair on your equipment that you're going to have to make. You need to be charging the right prices. So what I'm talking to you today is about consultations. If somebody calls me, the key word that I hear that sets me off is ideas. Because the first thing I want to help. I want to share my ideas. So I come out there, I mean, actually on the phone, I say there's 3 different things I do. Number 1, I do a free quote, and that's for a person who knows what they need. If you need me to come out and measure for sodding, you know what you need. You know you need fescue sod, and you know that you want it in this front yard. I measure, I give you an estimate, it's all over with. And a lot of times, if you know your square footage, I can do that over the phone and save myself the gas. And even with some of the different tools today in our industry, you can actually look down from a satellite and see and measure. I don't have one to market. Nobody's made a deal with me, but there are tools out there that you could do that with saving yourself the gas. So every single project that I can give someone an idea, a rough idea of pricing over the phone, I do. I ask if it's a patio that I'm going to be doing, I ask them how far is the patio from where I drop materials. That tells me how much labor I'm going to have to plan for in wheelbarrowing it through the 3-foot gate around the back. Is there any slope that I'm going to have to deal with? That lets me know, do I have to build a little wall to hold up the backside of the patio? Those are really common questions, and that saves me. So in your industry, whatever it is, think of the different aspects of your project that you need to know by being there in person, and write those down, memorize them. And when you're doing an estimate for a client, ask those questions. You will be able to give them an estimate, maybe not right then. You call them back in a half hour, call them back in an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever, but save yourself the gas. Call them back, give them the rough idea. A lot of times you're going to find they're going to say, I just talked to 2 other guys who came to my house and they were cheaper than you. You would have just wasted a bunch of gas going there. I know some of you are going to say, but then there's that face-to-face contact where you get the chance to shake their hand, look them in the eye, and you know what? You're absolutely right. There are jobs that it makes that difference. But then, is that the majority of the jobs where it makes the difference? I mean, maybe it is for you, but it isn't for me. A lot of times what I like to do is give people a rough idea of price over the phone so that they know if it fits in their budget or not. If I can't do that, then it may fall into the category of a consultation. So if they need me to solve a drainage problem, that's keyword number 2. The first keyword is ideas. You want my ideas. You want my design ideas, what plants to put here or there. That's a consultation. I charge $125. I used to charge $90 at first till I built up a little more confidence about my price. Now I charge $125 just to come out and do that type of thing. And believe it or not, I'd say maybe 60% of the clients that I approach with that, because I couldn't give them a rough number over the phone, say yes. So, I mean, if you don't ask, you're not going to get the yes. So the first place is we're looking for if they say they want your ideas. That's somebody, if you were a plumber, okay, let's imagine you're in a different field entirely. Somebody calls up Jim the plumber and says, hey, Jim, can you come out and give me your ideas on my plumbing? They're not going to do it. Their gas, their time, their advertising, all that comes into play about why they charge you $100 just to show up. That's the same thing you need to be thinking about. So if you were an electrician and they wanted some wires run, are they going to get a free estimate? No. Electricians, at least the ones that I know of, and if you disagree with me and you want to write that in the comments, that's fine. There are a lot of electricians, every electrician I've ever heard of charges just to come out and look at your job. So why, as a landscaper or a lawn professional or whatever different outdoor professional, why are we giving away something that costs? There's other people out there that are giving it away, and so we feel pressured that we have to. You have to kind of fight that pressure and go, no. If you're a credible person and you have knowledge that people want, then people with a self-conscious, their own image of self-worth is going to demand that they feel that your time is worth something, and they're going to want to pay you. And you deserve to get paid, not just because I say it, but because you have your own sense of self-worth. You go to the job, you need to be getting paid for it. I probably get paid for 75% of my visits, and the other 25% is because it falls in that gray area where it's not really where I'm giving a lot of value. Maybe the person solved 90% of it. And, you know, so I'm able to work it out that way. So those are two major things. One is, if you're going to go to somebody's house and they say they're having a drainage problem, you could be into that for an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If you're really thinking about it and putting your mind to it, you're using a site level and you're making a map of the area and you're doing all that, I mean, you're doing work that needs to be getting paid for. And if you're not doing that and you're giving people drainage advice, you probably should kick up your skills a notch and maybe get some tools that'll inform you a little bit better, because a site level is crucial when you're talking about drainage. So one thing is, like I said in my last video, and in the way that I live my life, I constantly read about my industry, and I'd like to see you do the same thing. So you're a lawn professional, you're a landscape professional. Read about what the different stone materials that are going into your project, the different ways to make mortar from concrete. You know, learn all of those different things that maybe you don't know right now. What about the toe on a footer for a retaining wall? What is that? You know, you've got to measure. You go 8 feet out from the bottom of the retaining wall, and that slope that is from where the footer needs to be to the bottom, that's the toe. That'll tell you the size that your footer needs to be for your retaining wall. You have to educate yourself. So get out there, get some knowledge that when you stand on the job, you'll be able to spew out all kinds of valuable information that the client needs. And if you have it already, you need to be charging for it. So what I wanted to cover today was the, you know, what's the difference in a free quote? What's the difference in a consultation? A free quote is when somebody knows what they need. A consultation is when somebody does not know what they need. If you're going to come all the way out to their house, you're going to be a problem solver for people. That deserves to get paid for. That's a consultant. If you needed a guy to come in and show you, help you how to run your business, that's consulting. And they charge for that. And they don't want to spend their gas and time coming out to your house to help you with your outdoor business or meet you at a job or anything if they're not getting paid. And believe me, there are people who do that. There's sales professionals that make a commission, and let's say they sell pavers, or let's say they sell stone or wood for projects or whatever, and they show up on commission. But typically those people work in a facility that's fixed, and they have a steady stream of clients coming in, and then they sit on the phone and get business. So you as a professional that works out of your home, maybe like I do, look around, you know, you need to earn a living for those visits that you're going to. So a free quote is when they know what they need. A consultation is when they don't. And what should you charge? You know, I first, I think, started charging maybe around $50. And I guess I wanted to know, would someone pay me for my time? And they did. Many of them did. And my confidence grew and grew, and now I'm at 125. You start off at 125, that may be great. Some people out there have the confidence to just jump right in at that rate, and that's not me. I needed to make sure it was going to work before I put my family on the line with actually spoiling any clients that would call in. So try to give people as much help as you can by phone, and if your main sales technique is shaking the hand, looking people in the eye and giving them a lot of confidence in yourself by being there, and that wins you the business, then do that. Then don't do what I'm saying. That works for me, but I find that with everything that I offer nowadays, I do hardscapes, I do landscaping, I do design, I do drainage, I do a wide variety of things. I get a lot of phone calls. I need to weed out the ones who are going to be the tire kickers and aren't really looking to do a project. That's another benefit, is that when you tell a certain amount of people that you're going to charge them to come to their home, well, they just talked to 3 other people and they're not charging. And you know what? You were just about to be in a competitive situation with 3 other people. And if you like doing jobs and hardly making anything, then you'll be out of business at some point. The economy goes up and down, and your profit margin has to be where you make enough money to survive the ups and the downs of the economy. So this keeps you profitable. If 75% of the visits you go on, you were getting paid for, but it reduced out 40% of the headache clients, and those ratios I'm coming up with off the top of my head. That, you know, you'll have to figure out what that is for yourself, because there's no hard, fast numbers on that. I try to weed out the ones that clients who are not actually going to do business, and I have to do that or else I won't be able to earn a living for my family. And that knowledge that I've got, you know what, it is valuable, and I'm going to share it with you as much as possible. So every once in a while I'll make a video like this. I'm going to try for a couple of weeks, maybe one a week. And if you follow along, I'm really glad to have you along. And if you know another outdoor professional or small business that could use some of these ideas, share it, like it, and subscribe to my channel. I have another channel, but that's, you know, that's another thing. This channel is just going to be me sharing information with other small businesses like myself, things that I've learned with 20 years of experience that you definitely should have. And you know, if you have questions for me, right now I'm live. I put myself into my my landscaping and gardening group, and I was welcome for anyone to join. No one seems to have popped in, and that's fine. But you know, keep an eye out. If you're in my group, it's the Landscaping Gardening Landscaper Gardeners group on Google+. So look for the group, subscribe, and you'll see my videos of projects as I complete them, and different profiles of things, products that you can use that help you save time and money. And also, I'm going to be interviewing some people that do search engine optimization, different textures on concrete. I'm going to be showing you different tools to use that save you time and money, like I said a second ago. Just if you have any questions or any different things you'd like me to cover, put it down there in the comments with the video. And I'll see you next time. I'm Dalton Quigley. Remember, youtube.com/Dalton Quigley. Don't forget to subscribe. If you forgot, now go subscribe. See you later. Bye.